Good morning. The court is going to take up cause number C210005CPS. This is in the interest of Valerie and Ronnie Winans and Charles Welch, Jr. This case is set for an initial permanency hearing today. The hearing is being conducted pursuant to emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court via Zoom video conference. I didn't say so earlier. This is an initial permanency hearing. The department is participating in the hearing today through Supervisor Robert Walker and Regional Attorney Samantha Jordan. The mother of the children is Jennifer Winans, and she is participating in the hearing. The father of the children, Valerie and Ronnie, is Ronnie Winans. He is not currently participating in the hearing today. The father of the child, Charles Welch Jr., is Aaron Coulter. He is also not participating in the hearing. Both Mr. Winans and Mr. Coulter have been personally served with citation notices, sued, and have participated in prior hearings in the case, and the court would take judicial notice that they were sent notice of the Zoom video conference hearing and the link on July 23rd, 2021. They have not made any requests for court-appointed attorney, and no attorney purporting to represent them has entered an appearance in the case on their behalf. Todd Simons is participating in the hearing today as the attorney and guardian ad litem for the children. Also participating on behalf of the department is caseworker Lori Dooley. The children are excused from participating in the hearing today. All right. See if we're ready to proceed. Just a second. I need to confirm if Miss Winans is able to hear me. Miss Winans, are you able to hear us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure we could hear you. Okay. All right, if we're ready, I'm going to ask Ms. Dooley and Ms. Winans, if each of you could raise your right hands, please. Each of you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give today before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Jordan, if you are ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. I will call Ms. Dooley.
All right, thank you. Go ahead.
Ms. Dooley, will you please state your name for the record?
Lori Dooley.
And are you the conservatorship worker for these children and this family?
Yes, I am.
Right. Can you give us an update on how the mother is doing with her service plan?
Yes, I can. Ms. Winans is staying in contact, on monthly. I supervise her children's visits on a weekly basis. Ms. Winans has maintained the same house or the apartment since the beginning. She is not employed at this time, and she does struggle to pay her rent at times. She was briefly employed at Pizza Hut, she reported, but she is no longer employed there. She states she is looking for employment, putting in applications all over. Ms. Winans has attended 2 parenting classes back in May. She does not have any transportation at this time. And I had provided her some bus passes to try to help her. She has not completed an assessment at ADAC, and she has not submitted to any drug test at this time. She does have a psychosocial assessment scheduled for August 12th with Angel Flores.
How often do you request that she submit to a drug test?
Monthly or more often, at least monthly.
Okay, and she's failed to take a single test in the entire case?
Yes, she has.
Okay. As to visitation with the children, how is that going for her?
The visitation is going well. She does interact well with the children, and they interact well and engage with her.
Okay. And how is Mr. Winans doing with his service plan?
Mr. Winans is working all of his services at this time.
Okay. What kind of visitation is he having with the kids?
He has weekly visitation with his daughter, Valerie.
Okay. And are there any concerns in visitation with her?
No, they're not. They bond well. They engage well. It's going very well.
Okay. And why are we not having visitation with little Ronnie?
Mr. Winans is currently on probation for injury to a child, and it has no contact with his son, Ronnie.
Okay. Do we know how much longer he's going to be on probation?
He was on probation for 6 years. He's been on over a year.
And how is Mr. Coulter doing with his service plan this far?
Mr. Coulter is working all of his services also. He has completed psychosocial, but he's looking for parenting. He was not able to locate any, but I have assisted him with that and have a referral in for a parenting place.
Okay. And does he have the ability to, or these, is it an online class or an in-person?
I'm not sure at this time. I've sent the referral in. There's a waiting list. I was thinking that it was online, but they were going to maybe go back, to doing it in person.
Okay. And how is visitation going between him and his child?
It's going well. Mr. Coulter does own his own business, and so at times he is not able to make the visits due to conflicts with his work schedule. But when he can, he does attend the visit, and he's engaging well and trying to reestablish a relationship with his child.
Okay. Where are each of the children currently placed?
With their maternal aunt.
Okay. And how's everything going in her home?
It's going pretty well. We had a few concerns with maybe some organization of the home, but we're working on that.
Okay.
The children are doing well there. I mean, they're very familiar with the aunt, and they do well with her.
Okay. Are any of the children on medication?
The son, Ronnie, is on medication.
What medicine is he taking?
He's taking liquid Quilivant.
And when was the last time that was reviewed by a doctor?
I want to say recently, maybe in May.
Okay. But other than that, no health concerns for any of the kids?
No.
Right. What is the permanency plan for these kids?
Reunification on the oldest, the daughter, and the youngest, and it was changed for Ronnie to relative fictive kin conservatorship. And
Okay. As to Valerie and Charles, what are we doing to start unsupervised contact with them and their fathers?
that has not been started as of yet, but looking at that.
Okay. And who has the department identified as a potential long-term caregiver, conservator for Ronnie?
His aunt, his maternal aunt.
Okay. And in Ronnie's case, the child, what are the barriers to reunification with either of his parents?
With the mother, not working all of the services, the father is working his services. And with him not being able to have contact with the son, it would be that he would need to provide something from the court or whatever, that he can, he can have contact. But until then, he does state there is an order that, and he actually tried to, or was faxing it over yesterday, but I did not receive it.
Okay. That's all I have, Your Honor. I will pass the witness.
Thank you. Mr. Simons, did you have any questions for Ms. Dooley?
No questions, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Jordan, did you have other witnesses?
I don't have anything else, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Winans, did you have any questions for Ms. Dooley about her testimony or any testimony you wanted to offer for today's hearing?
No.
Thank you. Mr. Simons, did you have any evidence or matters you want to take up today?
No, sir.
All right. Let me ask Ms. Dooley, the report to me was unclear about Mr. Winans' psychosocial evaluation. Where does that stand?
I actually received it today, this morning.
Okay, so he's completed that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And he's completed, and he's also completing counseling, or, doing counseling sessions also. And has completed several since the end of June.
Okay, thank you.
You're
All right, the court is going to continue the department as temporary managing conservator of the children and continue the children in the current placement at this time. All of the orders remain in place. The next hearing in the case right now is set for November 9th, 2021 at 2 p.m. That's a permanency hearing and pretrial. A trial is set January 5th, 2022 at 9 a.m. And the dismissal date for the case is March 7th, 2022. I'm required to notify any parent in this case that because of the nature of these proceedings, your parental custodial rights and duties to your children may be subject to restriction or even termination, and your progress on any court orders or plan of service will be reviewed at future hearings. In this case, Ms. Winans, the initial permanency hearing is set roughly halfway in the 1-year time period allowed by law for a resolution of these cases. You still have the opportunity to work on your service plan, and I'd encourage you to do so and remind you that's a court order. If you should be aware that if you fail to comply with the court's orders and that service plan, that can result in the department seeking to restrict or even terminate your parental rights. So it's important for you to participate in those services as laid out in those plans. If you're requested to go drug test, to go test, and if you fail to do so, it could adversely affect your rights to your children in this case. The court will further advise you, as I have in the past, that you have a right to retain a lawyer to represent you in connection with the case if you feel the need for legal advice. If you cannot afford a lawyer and are opposed to what the department is wanting to do in the case, you can make a request for a court-appointed lawyer by filing an affidavit of indigence with the Montgomery County District Clerk. If the court determines you do not have sufficient assets or income to hire a lawyer on your own, the court will appoint a lawyer for you at that time.